and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Father who was punched and then choked by stranger in the Toronto's East End speaks out about ordeal. Cap on international students' working hours should be lifted permanently, advocates. Strong winds expected in Toronto Wednesday as cold front moves in. Ontario on track to surpass last year's 5 deaths, Fire Marshal warns. No injuries after truck burst into flames on busy Toronto highway. Man in critical condition after daylight shooting in Moss Park. These were the headlines, and now let's jump right into the details. Strong winds are expected to hit Toronto Wednesday afternoon according to Environment Canada. A special weather statement has been issued for Toronto warning that wind gusts of 70 to 90 km per hour are expected Wednesday afternoon, with even stronger gusts possible in showers or thunderstorms. Rain is forecasted for a late Wednesday afternoon. However, the high winds are expected to die down overnight. Environment Canada says that strong southerly winds will develop ahead of a cold front Wednesday afternoon and that the winds will ease in the evening overnight as the front passes through. Gusty winds can damage soft shelters, tents, and awnings of outdoor events. The statement on the agency's website says loose objects may be tossed by the wind and cause injury or damage. High winds may result in power outages and fallen tree branches. Police said the suspect was driving a blue BMW at a high rate of speed westbound along Danforth Avenue when he crossed the center line and slammed into a blue Hyundai that was headed in the opposite direction. The driver then allegedly fled the scene on foot, leaving an injured passenger in his vehicle behind. Police said the passenger, a 22-year-old man, was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the Hyundai, police say, was transported with serious life-altering injuries. Following the collision, police said the suspect went south to the area of Seymour and Shuttle Avenues, where he encountered a father taking his children out of a parked car. Speaking with CTV News Toronto, the father said he actually saw the scene of the collision as he was driving in the area with his 2 children before arriving at his home. I saw the accident, did a U-turn to avoid it, took a side street down and just pulled up. Didn't know what was waiting for me, obviously. Marcelo, who asked to be identified by his first name only, said Tuesday afternoon. Marcelo said once he parked, the suspect could be seen crouching at the back of the vehicle 2 cars ahead. He walked out into the middle of the road, and as I went to the back of the vehicle, he bumped into me heavy, like ran into me, and that pushed things over onto the sidewalk. And then that's when he started screaming and yelling, Marcelo said. The father said the suspect then punched him in the jaw and proceeded to choke him before they allegedly opened the back door of his vehicle where his 8-year-old daughter was seated. Moments later, police said that several neighbors, including an off-duty officer, heard the children scream and attempted to intervene. A man has been rushed to hospital in critical condition following a daylight shooting in Toronto's Moss Park neighborhood. It happened near Queen and Sherbourne streets at around 5:10 p.m. Police say that one person was taken to custody at the scene and firearm has been recovered. The circumstances surrounding the shooting remain unclear, though aerial footage seems to be suggested that there is some sort of scene in the southeast corner of Moss Park where debris is visibly on the ground. Sherbourne Street is currently closed between Shutter and Queen Streets as police conduct a full investigation at the scene. A new pilot project to lift the cap on the number of hours international students can work should be made permanent, says advocates who have spent years asking for the change. Immigration Minister Sean Fraser announced last Friday the federal government would temporarily remove the 20-hour cap on the number of hours international students can work off campus to address labor shortages. The cap will be lifted from November 15 until the end of the next year. The International Sikh Students Association has long been calling for this change and launched a petition early this year to move the cap from 20 to 30 hours to up the quality of life for students. Jaspreet Singh, who founded the association, said the government's decision to temporarily lift the cap came as a surprise. We were expecting something permanent, he said in an interview, not for something in response to a labor shortage. Instead of giving genuine effort to help to improve lives of international students, the 20-hour cap has never made such sense given most employers in Canada offer 8-hour shifts, and said Singh, who graduated as an international student 2 years ago from Sheridan College in the Greater Toronto area and has since become a permanent resident. The cap has put stress on students facing ever-increasing costs while living in Canada. The rent within the last 5 years is almost double, he said, so everything has gone up. The government plans to treat the temporary police policy as a pilot project, Fraser said at a press conference Friday. We are going to be able to learn some lessons over the course of the next year, and we are going to be able to determine whether this is kind of thing we can look at doing over a longer period of time. This is not the first time the cap has lifted. No injuries were reported after a cargo truck was engulfed in flames on the Gardiner Expressway Tuesday. It happened in the westbound lanes of the busy highway near the C&E grounds just before 2 p.m. Images sent to CP24 showed the cab engulfed in flames with thick black smoke pouring from the cargo area as well. Toronto police said no injuries have been reported. However, there are delays on the highway because of the fire. 2 right lanes of the expressway are blocked approaching Jameson Avenue. It is not yet clear what the truck was carrying or what sparked the fire. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.